Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. Today I want to talk about the Rep Fitness Power Bar EX or Deep Aggressive Knurled Power Bar. Been using it for the last couple of weeks and I have to be honest, I did not want to buy this bar. Now, I didn't mean that I didn't want it. I did want it. I just didn't want to buy it. Mainly because I have a lot of other power bars, including what I consider the cream of the crop, my Rogue Ohio Power Bar in stainless steel. And I really just didn't want to spend another $400 on a barbell that I didn't really think I needed. Mostly because, number one, I didn't want to potentially have to admit that I'd have to start recommending different bars because this bar had a lot of hype behind it. Stainless steel, both shaft and sleeves, which the Rogue Ohio Power Bar is not. It only has a stainless shaft and chrome sleeves, a very aggressive knurl, and a little bit of a different knurl than the Rogue Ohio Power Bar, which a lot of people still consider aggressive or very powerlifting focused. But whereas the Ohio Power Bar is more of a volcano pattern, this one on the Rep Fitness one is more of a mountain pattern. So very aggressive knurl, very good specs, and at a price point that's lower than the Ohio Power Bar. But again, that being said, it's still going to be around $400 for most people. And I was really hesitant to pull the trigger on it, but I've heard a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of good things, and I had to get my hands on it. And now I'm in a very tough spot because if someone's going to ask me, Brandon, what's the best bar for the buck out there for powerlifting? It's really a toss-up, in my opinion, between the Rep Bar and my Ohio Power Bar, which I think is a huge statement to say for Rep. Even if I can't feel confident in saying the Rep Bar is better, which depending on your preferences, some people might view it as, but the fact that I can say that they're on par with each other, and I think there's no doubt about it, even if you don't like Rogue at all and think they're a scummy company, they are the market leader when it comes to a lot of this product. So the fact that Rep can stand toe-to-toe with them on probably one of the most popular and well-made bars out there, I think is a huge win for them. And they're doing a lot of other unique and interesting things when it comes to their other offerings for power racks and things of that nature. So definitely follow them along on social media, or at least take a look at them if you're in the market for anything strength related. So let's get back to this barbell. Let's talk a little bit about it. As far as the specs go, there's nothing really new here. It's 29 millimeter diameter power bar, as most should be, in my opinion. Yes, I'm looking at you, Texas Power Bar. 28.5 millimeters with really wide collars and a whippy bar over 400 pounds. Get to 29 millimeters and shorten those collars and you'll be more of my favorite again. But 29 millimeters, standard bar length on here, powerlifting knurl mark, center knurl, and like I said, an aggressive knurl. An aggressive knurl to the fact where this reminds me kind of more similar to a Texas Power Bar again, because this knurl pattern is a little bit more like a mountain. There is a little bit of shaving off of the peaks themselves, but still very sharp in that regard compared to the Ohio Power Bar, which is more like a volcano, which I still would consider aggressive, but it's a little bit different in feel to me. Whereas this Rep Bar with the mountain feel, I would say is sharp. The Rep Fitness with the volcanoes is more grippy. So both work extremely well, but if you're the preference to like something that's more sharp, then let's say just really grippy and has better feel, you could go either way in that regard. So again, that's where some of this personal preference comes into play. Now with this bar, where it stands out also is the construction. It's made extremely well. You can tell by the build quality, some of the close-ups I'll show you, that it's a fantastic looking bar. As I mentioned already, it's in stainless steel and only in stainless steel. So there's no other finishes you can get, which I think is a huge win. Stainless steel to me is the best finish for any bar out there, regardless of the brand you're talking about. And it's for two main reasons. Number one, it's because it's not an actual application or coating that goes over the barbell. When you talk about things like Cerakote, which looks really nice, or black zinc, which might look cool because you have an all black bar, or even chrome or things of that nature, it's an application or another layer between the metal and steel itself and your hand, meaning that it's going to fill in some of those gaps. It's going to blunt the knurling a little bit. The coating can come off. You do not have that problem with stainless steel. Now, because you don't have that problem with stainless steel, where it's not an actual layer between you and the barbell, it means the grip or the feel of the bar is the best you're going to get. So again, if you're putting a really aggressive knurl on a bar, that's great. But then if you do something like black zinc over it, it dulls the knurling or the feeling, kind of like some of the similar issues I've had with my Rogue Ohio Power Bar that I had in black zinc previously. And again, that coating can wear off and leave bare spots, and it makes the bar look pretty bad. This stainless steel looks fantastic, feels fantastic, and stainless steel happens to be some of the most resistant when it comes to things like corrosion. So if you're training in an open air environment like a garage, like I am now, an area with lots of moisture, you're not going to see as much rust and oxidation as you would with pretty much any other finish. So really hard to beat with this. Now, as I mentioned before, This really stands toe to toe with the Ohio Power Bar, which again, I kind of put as the gold standard because it offers a lot of great performance, a lot of great specs, a lot of great feel, finish, and at a very attractive price. So the Ohio Power Bar in stainless steel retails for $395 MSRP. This one from Rep retails for $375. So it's $20 less expensive. One of the caveats I have to throw out there though with you is Rogue has very good shipping rates, whereas shipping from a bar from Rogue typically runs around $15. Shipping from Rep Fitness, depending on where you are in the United States, tends to run more around $40. So at the end of the day, if you're comparing apples to apples here, all in cost, the Rep bar is still going to be about $15 to $20 more expensive. But with that $15 or $20 more expensive, what you're getting is also stainless sleeves. So with the Rogue bar, as I mentioned already, it has a stainless shaft, but the sleeves were made of chrome. Now, for some people, this might not really make too big of a difference, but the fact that Rep actually went above and beyond and added those stainless sleeves, and at a cost that's not really that much more, again, this becomes a very attractive bar. You also have to ask yourself about the actual feel of the barbell itself. What do you like better? Both bars are going to feel great, but again, this one's going to grip a little bit better or sharper because it's going to dig in. You're still going to have plenty of grip and feel it with the Ohio Power Bar as well. But again, if you like something that's more sharp, this will probably be the bar for you. I know not a lot of people necessarily like that because they think it'll tear their hands. But again, that's going to come down to personal preference and whatnot. So the fact of the matter is, when you take a look at this bar, how it performs for the squat, the bench, the deadlift, pretty much any lift you want to do in terms of powerlifting, it's going to perform extremely well. In fact, I'd say it performs just as well as the Ohio Power Bar that I have. So when people come to me and ask me the question now of what bar would I recommend they get, best bang for the buck, it's going to be hard for me to say, and the answer is going to be more of it depends. So I'm going to ask about, does the stainless sleeves matter to you? Yes or no? Do you want mountains or do you want volcanoes when it comes to the Knurl? But more importantly, I think the deciding factor for most in terms of what I recommend is going to come down to what else are you getting? Meaning that if you're buying a rack, if you're buying weights, if you're buying who knows what from one of those other companies already, it probably makes the most sense to go with that similar bar because you're going to end up saving a little bit of money on shipping. But if it doesn't matter, it's really just going to be a toss-up, which again, to me, at the end of the day, is a huge win for Rep Fitness. So if you've been interested in a stainless steel bar, want to get into it, this is a fantastic option to get into. It's not going to be as prevalent as an Ohio Power Bar, so you'll be a little bit unique, at least for now. I can really see this bar catching on and catching on quick, especially when you take a look at some of the other reviews out there from other people singing the praises of this bar. And I'm going to add myself to that list saying that this is a fantastic bar for a fantastic price, and you'd be remiss not to at least look at it if you're in consideration for a very good power bar at a very good price. Now, I say that because someone's going to throw out, oh, the Eleiko Power Bar is the best bar out there. And it's true, the Eleiko makes a great bar, but the problem of the matter is the knurling on that can be almost overly aggressive if you're looking at the competition style bar. So it's not really their training bar, let's say, which they do have as well. But the price to play is going to be somewhere between $800 to $1,000 at the end of the day, and you're not going to have this nice stainless steel finish. So for half the cost less and a better finish and probably a more functional bar for you, the Rep Fitness is probably the way to go. So big kudos to Rep for making this bar great. And I got to add another bar to my rotation. It makes it even more difficult for me day to day coming in and training and picking which bar I'm going to use for that day. If you have questions about this or any other piece of equipment that I own, or even something you're thinking about getting and you want to just get some feedback, leave me a comment in the comment section below. But in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.